In case you guys were unaware, it's July, which means I'm running out of space in this current bullet journal and it's time to move to a new one. So drum roll please, introducing my new bullet journal for the rest of 2021. Look at her, she is stunning, she is glowing. This is the Gliding Blue Swallow journal from Archer and Olive, and it's this beautiful blue color with 160 GSM paper, which means it works for a lot of mediums. It has a pocket in the back, an elastic closure, 2 bookmarks. This girl, she's checking all the boxes. Anyway, so I'm so excited to crack her open and start journaling for the rest of 2021. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sophie if you're new here, and I create all sorts of bullet journaling and art content like this. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, don't forget to go down and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another upload. I'm super excited for next week's uploads specifically, which is my July Plan With Me for 2021. And there's gonna be a special little surprise in there, maybe possibly a giveaway. So if you don't wanna miss that, don't forget to subscribe. So getting right into this journal, I wanted to introduce to you guys my stickers that I created for this exact setup. And surprise, they're also in color. So I was thinking of what I wanted to do for my setup, and I really wanted to create this minimal botanical theme. And so I created these stickers that I'm going to use in this setup. And as you are currently watching it, they are available right now on my Etsy shop. So if you want to get your hands on these stickers, the colored version or the black and white version, the link will be down below so you can purchase them. So if you guys watched my 2021 setup from the beginning of this year, you will remember how much trauma, first of all, I have from it. I'll show some pictures here on the screen of my setup, but basically I went really overboard with the minimalism and everything was super wonky and I really didn't like it. So I was determined when I set up this new journal for the rest of the year that I was going to improve and make things a little better. My main problem with the journal at the beginning of the year was everything was 1, monoline, which made it very boring, and 2, no color. So we're already starting out with tons of color in this journal. Starting with the grid spacing sheet, I'm first numbering all across the top and bottom of this page, and then I'm going to be dividing the spread into quarters, thirds, and halves. I lost a little footage here, but you get what I'm doing. If any of you want a full descriptive video about how this spread works and how I use it on the day-to-day, comment below and I will definitely make a video. But basically the spread is divided with little gaps in between so I can reference it when I need to split a spread into halves, thirds, or quarters. Another motif that I really wanted to bring into this journal setup was my calligraphy. So recently on my channel I have not been doing a lot of calligraphy and I've been trying to play around with new fonts like serif fonts or bubble fonts, etc. But I have really missed just some classic black calligraphy, and so I really wanted just to bring that back for this setup. I got inspired by a YouTuber named Claudia Joseph, who is not doing bullet journal content anymore, but her old videos are super inspiring and her lettering style is always inspired me. So as I'm doing these spreads and filling out all the titles, I'm just trying to make my lettering as bouncy and as playful as possible. That way it's interesting to look at and not boring like, well, this was. On the right, I'm lettering a quote page that says, "And then she realized that a fresh start was hers for the taking, that she could be the girl she's always seen on the distant horizon, her future self, one step at a time, starting now." And I just saw this quote on Pinterest and I literally gasped. Like, it's so perfect for what I'm trying to emulate in my journal for the rest of the year and super inspiring for me, and so I definitely wanted to put it in there so I can reference back to it when I'm feeling a little unmotivated and uninspired. So moving on to the future log, getting right into it, I'm starting by lettering all the titles of the month, and you'll notice that I'm starting with July because, of course, this journal starts with July. Full disclosure, I don't actually use my future log as much as I probably should, being, you know, a YouTuber who bullet journals, but I did want to put it on here for 1, tracking basic days like birthdays or important events, 2, tracking growth on my socials like Etsy and YouTube, and then 3, so I can inspire you guys and show you a possibility of how you can make the spread in your own journal. So at the beginning of the year, I used more of a vertical setup because I had to fit all 12 months into 2 spreads, but now that I'm only doing 6 months since it's just the end of the year, I did more of a horizontal setup. Each little section of the page has a calendar for reference and then space at the bottom to track my growth in both YouTube and Etsy. And then next to it, I'll have space to write all the important dates that I mentioned before, just as reference, so that whenever I fill out each new month in my bullet journal, I have a place to go back to and write in all the birthdays. Tell me below in the comments if you actually use your future log, and if not, what other ways do you track important dates? Personally, I don't bring my bullet journal everywhere, and so whenever I have something to write down for the future, I usually just put it in my phone calendar. However, future logs are good for the aesthetics, and although they do give you a little hand cramp when you're done writing all the dates and all the numbers, it is really pretty to look at, so I put it in here anyway. Right along to the next spread, which is going to be my goals tracking spread. Now, I'm going to be truly honest with you guys. Last year, my goals planning was pretty awful, and I didn't really understand goals planning and how to make it work for me. But in the past few months, I've been watching a lot of videos and researching about it and trying to find ways that 1, I can write my goals down efficiently, and 2, I can make some real steps to get these goals done. And so here on this spread, I'm first doing a very large title page so that I have room in the following Dutch door to write all of my information. Under it, I'm also adding another quote, but this one I'm just writing out in my normal handwriting, and it says how blessed it is to stumble upon a soul that wants nothing but smiles for the rest of your life. And this made me so happy when I read it. And it's really inspiring for me so that I can try to be that person who wants smiles for everybody else that I come across in my life. So here's when the actual goals planning starts. So this is a Dutch door that I've pre-cut just to save time in the video, but I divided the spread into 6 different sections: spiritual, academic, personal, relationships, YouTube, and my Etsy shop. And in each little square, I have, of course, the title, and then a bar, and then 3 different bullets. So the plan is, the bar at the top is to mark my growth, and when I hit each mini goal, I can fill in the bar. And then each bullet below represents one of the mini goals and small, reasonable, and measurable steps I can take to eventually hit that goal. For example, a personal goal I have is to allow myself more time for me and to have more self-care days, because I feel like sometimes I'm a workaholic and just pressure myself to always be doing productive things. So that is the very big goal, but a mini goal I could have for that is schedule 2 self-care days every month. So once I do schedule those every month and follow through with them, then I can mark off that little mini goal and color in 1 square in the bar. And that is basically just my progress in finding more time for me and a smaller way to break down main goals that I have for myself for the remainder of this year. If you want more information about this, I am happy to talk about it, so comment down below any questions you have about goal setting, and I can make a video about it. In a few weeks, I'm also planning about posting a video where I fill in all these spreads that I'm setting up right now, and so I'll go through and in more detail explain what each spread is used for and how I'm using it for the rest of the year. So again, if you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe and you won't miss it. The last part of this spread is to fill the right side of the Dutch door. So obviously I've had this minimal plant motif that's been going through this entire thread, and so I just used my sticker sheet as inspiration and drew some of the stickers with my fine liner on the right side of the page. I was planning on making all the plants fit perfectly, and so none of them would overlap each other, but unfortunately the one at the top got a little too close to the bar, and so whenever I closed the Dutch door, it covered up a little bit. But nevertheless, it's fine, and we're gonna move on to the next spread, which is my YouTube content and Etsy planning page. Now, I understand that I'm sure not many of you watching this are content creators and can't really relate to a spread like this, but I think it can be applied to anything related to work or school or just project timelines, like if you're writing your thesis or something, which, by the way, if you are, good luck, I applaud you, you are doing great, all the motivation for you. But yeah, any spread like this can be applied to progress goals and things like that. So basically each spread is divided into 3 sections: milestones, planning, and brainstorming. And these are just very general bullets that I can fill in later, but are very helpful for me in the long term. So in the planning section for YouTube, I might put different things I'm planning, like a giveaway or any collabs with other YouTubers. And then in the brainstorm, I have space to list any ideas of videos that I want to make in the future. And of course, milestones are just places to track when I hit 1,000 subscribers or anything like that. So the next spread I'm setting up is my reading tracker, and in case you guys do not know, I am a very hard reader. Like, I read all the time and it's kind of a problem. So I definitely needed a place to track all of my reading goals and progress for the year. If you do not know, I do have a Goodreads account, so you can follow me and I'll have the link down below. But on there, I had a goal for myself to read 50 books by the end of the year. And so far, as of June 12th, I am on book 24, I think. So I'm pretty sure we're making pretty good progress, and it was a realistic goal for me. So on the chart above, I'm just marking different columns for the number, aka 1 to 50, the book title, the rating I gave it out of 5, and then the question mark on the end is whether or not I wrote a Goodreads review for it, which I do try to do, especially for the book that I really adored. If you want to hear anything about the books I'm reading or reading content on this channel, comment down below, and maybe I can make some kind of reading books or reading spreads in the future. Also comment down below if you're reading a book recently. I'd love to hear any book suggestions that you have for me. I don't know if you can tell, but as the spreads are going on, these are getting simpler and simpler, and finally we're in the last spread of this setup, which is my gift and period tracker. So these are a little more personal, but I definitely need them both in my setups, and so I decided to put them here at the end. First, for the gift tracker, which is basically a place for me to mark gift ideas for others and for me. I think we've all been there when your birthday is coming around or Christmas and someone asks you what you want and you have no clue, but then you leave and you realize, oh, I could have asked for this. Or whenever you're thinking of a gift for someone and you have absolutely no idea what to give them, but 2 weeks ago you had a brilliant idea and you couldn't remember it. That's exactly what this spread is for. Because I struggle with those problems too. Basically, it's just a giant brainstorming page for me to put all of my ideas for gifts for other people and for me if someone asks what I want for my birthday or for Christmas. And then on the right is my period tracker, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a place where I keep track of my period every month. So I have dots for basically every day of the year, and I'll just circle the days when I'm on my period for all the months of the year. I do realize that I started with January and not July, and did that on purpose just so I'd have some previous months and can see patterns a little easier. So yes, if you are a person who menstruates, this spread could be useful to you to track your cycle. And with that, this setup is pretty much done, and it's time for the flip through. I am really happy with how these spreads turned out, and I definitely think it's a big update from the beginning of this year. I think the colors just work really well together, and they're all bright and sunny, and just are really inspirational for me and motivation for me to keep bullet journaling for the rest of the year. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for all your support on my channel. It means so much to me. If you did enjoy the video, go down, hit that thumbs up button. It really helped me in the algorithm, and also again, subscribe if you haven't already. Next week, I'm posting my July Plan With Me, and I'm super excited for the idea that I have, so I hope you enjoy it. And there also, like I mentioned earlier, might be a giveaway. You know, didn't hear it from me, but there might be one, so if you want to enter that, subscribe and you won't miss it. And lastly, once again, don't forget to go check out my Etsy shop. My stickers are already listed there, so you can check out all the designs I have, including the one that I used to set up this journal. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!